Okay, students, good morning to one and all. Today we are discussing about Unit 2. So, others we are starting Unit 2. This is Unit 2 name is RTL and ML, or you can say MO. RTL and MO. So, what do you mean by RTL and MO? I have written in the short form. So, the name of the second unit is Register Transfer Language, Register Transfer Language and Micro Operations. Register Transfer Language and Micro Operations. So, as the first unit contains three parts. Here the second unit contains two parts in it. The first one is register transfer languages and third one is micro operations. So when come to the first part, so what we are going to discuss in this first part is first what is a register, what is a register and what do you mean by register transfer, what do you mean by register transfer, and then what is the definition for RTL, that is register transfer language. So here while we are going to discuss about this register transfer, we are also discussing about bus and memory transfer. Bus and memory transfer. Bus and memory transfer. So these are the three topics we are going to discuss under the first part of your second unit. The first part of your second unit. So the second unit stands for register transfer language and micro operations. Under this register transfer language, we are going to discuss about what is a register and how the transfer will be done between the registers, and these registers are used for transfer of the bits and with the help of the memory and with the help of the memory locations. Means between register to register how the data will be transferred, between one memory location to another memory location how the data will be transferred, and what is the role of the bus while transferring this data from source to the destination. And then to perform this transfer between registers and memory, between two memory locations, we need certain notation, symbolic notation. So simply, for example, you can say R2. Just I am giving you an example here. It's like a symbolic notation. So it means the data that is available in R1 is going to be transferred to R2. What is R1 and R2 here? Are registers. R1 and R2 are registers. So the data from the register R1 is copied to register R2. So this type of notations, various notations we are going to discuss in this first part. So those notations are collectively called as register transfer languages. So here you need to remember one point, that is the data going to be transferred between two registers only? No. Sometimes the data will be transferred between a register and a memory location also. Between a register and a memory location also. So how this entire process is being done? So with the help of the register transfer language we are going to discuss. Now as just today I am giving a briefing about this, and when you come to the second part, that is micro operations. Second part, that is micro operations. So what are the different types of micro operations we have, or as you have already discussed, first type of micro operations are arithmetic micro operations, and logical micro operations, logical micro operations, and shift micro operations. Shift micro operations. Here you may have a doubt that sir, already about this arithmetic we discussed in the first unit. So what are the arithmetic operations? Addition, subtraction, division and multiplication. But do remember, to perform these three operations, the base is addition only. To perform these three operations, the base is addition only. Means either subtraction we are going to perform with the help of the addition with the 2's complement. The help of the addition with the 2's complement. And division we are going to perform with the help of the subtract operation. Means dividend and divider, one number is subtracted every time, and those number of subtractions will be counted. That will be called as quotient, and at the end of the result, whatever the end carry, that will be considered as remainder something. But division is performed using subtraction, but subtraction itself is with the help of the addition. Remember that. And multiplication, as I told you, if you say 4 into 7, adding 4 7 times or adding 7 4 times. Here also addition is involved. So here, what are the various types of arithmetic operations are there? We will list out the various types of arithmetic operations. Okay, and we will list out the notation, symbolic notation for all these arithmetic instructions, and hardware implementation in one circuit. Hardware implementation in one circuit. So performing addition, performing subtraction, finding 1's complement, finding 2's complement, finding a negative of the number. So transferring the same number as it is. All such group of arithmetic operations are there. For all those, we are going to design a hardware circuit. For all the instructions combinedly, we are going to design one hardware circuit. And the same way, logical operations also. You have different types of logical operations are there. Like generally when you discuss logical operations like greater than, less than, okay, equal to, not equal to, like there's some logical instructions are there. So what are the various types of logical instructions, and what is the register notation for those logical instructions, and what is the hardware implementation? In the same way, so means here for arithmetic instructions we have to discuss types, notation and hardware, and for logical instructions types, notation and hardware, and shift also types, notation and hardware. I think we are already somehow familiar with these shift right operations, like say SHL, SHR, ASHL, ASHR. Already we have discussed shift left, shift right, arithmetic shift left, arithmetic shift right. In our multiplication, that is Booth's algorithm or division algorithm, we have discussed this. But here in detail, we are going to discuss about these 4 instructions under shift. So after discussing all the types of instructions, their notation using the register transfer language and the hardware part, finally we are going to design an arithmetic logical shift unit. So means one unit, one hardware diagram that used to execute all the arithmetic logical shift operations we will design. So that is the basic part that you call as a ALU, which is the one part of your CPU. So control unit and the ALU combined together as central processing unit. So this ALU stands an important or plays an important role in our CPU. That's why how to design an ALU by using what type of circuits. So for designing all these hardwares, we use some circuits and some components. What are those circuits are called as? So we use some combinational circuits. For designing all these circuits. You know, I think very well, sequential circuits and combination circuits, you might have already learned in your DLE subject. If not also, don't worry, we will discuss in this. Like there are some of the circuits are half adder, and full adder, etc., etc. With the help of this half adders, full adders, and I think you might already discussed about some multiplexers, and also we might have discussed about some decoders. Okay, you have already maybe discussed about some encoders. So with the help of all these hardware half adder, full adder, multiplexers, decoders and encoders, we will design circuits for an arithmetic unit, we will design circuit for logical unit, we will design circuit for shift unit, and collectively together we will design one ALU also. This is, so after end of this second unit, you should be familiar this. So why I am discussing all this is, this is the objective of this unit. So if anybody asks you that, so have you completed unit 2 of your computer organization, if you want to say yes confidently, you must be well known about all this. Then only you can say confidently that I have done or I have completed unit 2. So these are the various points you must be familiar by the end of this unit. Okay, so this is the various topics that are there in this second unit, register transfer language and micro operations. Now today, let us know about some basic definitions in this unit that we are going to discuss. Some basic definitions are you can say preliminaries. So if you want to go in depth of this unit, what are the terms you must be familiar. If you want to get into this unit detail, you must be familiar with some terminology. What is this terminology? We will see one by one. So first of all, what is a digital system? What is a digital system? So this digital system, from the class 1 onwards till today, we are keep on repeating that here digital system is a interconnection of hardware that accepts data in the form of zeros and ones. So digital system, digital computer, you can call it as digital system or digital computer, is defined as an interconnection of hardware components. Hardware, you can say like components. Hardware components that accepts data in the form of zeros and ones. Okay, this is the definition of your digital system. So here, these components, hardware components. So those hardware components, in our second language terminology, these hardware components are called as modules. So hardware components are called as modules. So entire digital system is divided into number of modules. Entire digital system is divided into number of modules. Now, what those modules are called as? What are the various modules that we have in this digital system? We will discuss. So the various modules that are there in this digital system are listed as registers, decoders, arithmetic elements, control logic, etc. So the various modules, just now we discussed modules, hardware modules. A digital system is a interconnection of number of hardware modules. So some of the modules are registers. We have told in the first itself that there are some temporary registers. Whenever I draw the flowchart for addition, subtraction, multiplication, also I have discussed AR, BR, like R, A, B, Q, like this. These are all registers that holds the data. So AR is a register, BR is a register. So that holds the data, but data in the form of zeros and ones. Data in the form of zeros and ones. So registers are one of the first important module of your hardware part. That is your digital system. And second module in this digital system are decoders, encoders, multiplexers, demultiplexers, and also you can say like that's it. You can say those four, and then coming to the arithmetic elements. So the various arithmetic elements in the hardware part or hardware modules are half adder and full adder. Half adder and full adder. So apart from these all, we need one logical circuit. We need one logical circuit that controls entire system. So this is also one of the important module of your digital system. So again I am repeating, the definition of a digital system is, it is an interconnection of hardware modules that accepts the data in the form of a binary elements. They are zeros and ones. So various hardware modules just now we listed out. So, and here one more definition as we discussed. Okay, first we will raise the definition. As I told you now, various hardware modules, and how these modules are connected. How these modules are connected. Now you can answer the moment I use the word connected. As we discussed, the various parts of a computer are connected with each other with the help of certain group of wires. These wires again are called as bus structure. Yes. So another definition of this chapter is, what is a bus? So bus is a provider that is used to interconnect various hardware modules of the digital system. So if you want to install or initiate interconnection between various hardware modules of a digital system, you need a component called as a bus. Now fine. So after interconnecting all the hardware modules with the help of the bus, then how the data is going to be transferred from one place to another place. So as we told you, in the computer the data is maybe stored in the memory, or you can type the data from the input device, or you can transfer the data from the output device. Okay, so these are the various parts where the bus is going to transfer the data. But here we are not bothered about these input and output devices. Here what we are more concerned is, once the data is kept in the memory, in the CPU, if you want to perform any arithmetic logical shift units, so there is a part called as ALU need to be initiated. Whenever you want to perform an operation, definitely we need some variables. In our terms, they are called as operands. So operation is executed on what? On operands. An operation is executed on operands. Here what are the operands? The operands are variables. That contain some values. So in our notation, these variables are known as registers or memory locations. Means we are performing certain operation. Using some operands. Those operands sometimes maybe only one operand, or maybe two operands. So for example, if I say R is equal to A. So A is a variable. Let us assume A is transferred to R. Now R1 is nothing but R bar. R1 is nothing but R1 is complement of R. So here the operation is complementing. The operation is complementing. But operand is the value that is there in R. The value that is there on. So here only single operand is there. We have only one operand. Or else if you take R means A plus B. Here the operation is addition. Operation is addition. But the operands are A and B. Here we have two operands. Here we have two operands. So number of operands may be 1, 2, 3, 4 or whatever it is. We are going to perform some operation. So an operation that is used to perform on various operands where the values of those operands are stored in registers or memory locations is called as a micro operation. Now we got the definition for micro operation, which is our main topic of our subject. Micro operation. Now I am explaining you what is micro operation. So a micro operation, what we have discussed in our own terminology. Now let us see the technical definition of the micro operation. As I told you, a micro operation is an elementary operation. I told you it is an operation. I told you. So performed on the information. It is an operation performed on the what I told you there, operands. So here operands are nothing but information. So micro operation is a basic operation or an elementary operation that is used to perform some operations on the information. But where is that information? I told you that information is stored in the registers and memory. So that information stored in one or more registers. Stored in one or more registers. Previously, for one register operation, we taken an example of complementing, and two registers operation we have taken a operation called as addition. So here some of the examples of your micro operations are shift, count, clear, load, mask, etc., etc., etc. So there are different types of micro operations which we are going to learn in the sequence of the various classes regarding this unit. Now, so one part of our unit, that is micro operation, is done. So now what is the second part? Of course, in the title of our unit, it is given RTL and MO, that is register transfer language and micro operations. Now RTL. So what is an RTL? So you just take two parts, one is source and another one is destination. So there is some data in the source which we are going to pass the data to destination by using. So it may be 0 or 1 or maybe 0 or 1, whatever it is. So for example, here in our concept, the source and destinations are registers. Source and destinations are registers. So there is one register R1, R2. Let us assume. So whatever the data that is there in R1, we have to move to R2. So R1 move to R2. Okay? Or in our general actual notation, we write like this. R2, like this we write. So whatever the data that is available in register R1 is transferred to R2. So the data that is there in one register, if you want to transfer that into the one more register, you will use a notation. You will use a notation or a language called as RTL. A language called as RTL. So what is RTL? Register transfer language. So RTL is a language that is used to transfer the data between two registers, between n registers. Okay, I am repeating again. RTL is a language that is used to transfer the data among the registers. Now, let us see the technical definition of your RTL. So, the technical definition of your RTL, yet I will note down here. Write down here. If you want to note it down, you can note down. So, RTL, the symbolic notation used to describe the symbolic notation used to describe the micro operation transfer among the registers is called as RTL, where RTL means register transfer language. So, the symbolic notation that is used to describe the micro operation transfer. The symbolic notation here, why I am stressing on this word symbolic more and more time, I will explain now. The symbolic notation used to describe the micro operation transfer among registers is called as RTL. Now, say for example, if I want to transfer the data that is available in R1 to R2, the data available in R1 to R2, in general, how we write? Move the data in register R1 to register R2. This is the sentence form of the operation. Move from R1 to R2. This is a sentence formation. So move the data in R1 in register R1 to register R2. Simply, this whole statement is represented by using this notation, which is called as a symbolic notation. So, if you want to write a programming language or a sequence of steps to perform certain operation, so you know very well, symbolic notation is very easy and confessed, and also it is very clear and easy to understand. That's why I am stressing more on this symbolic notation. So this notation of representing same concept, is not symbolic. This is not symbolic. Remember, this is symbolic notation. So an RTL is the symbolic notation that is used to describe the micro operation transfer among register is called as RTL. Yes, that's why I am stressing more on this word symbolic. Okay, now so what is the basic advantage of this RTL? So it is too convenient to represent many operations, or you can say many micro operations for performing a single task at a glance. So the RTL is a too convenient method to represent many micro operations many micro operations at a glance for performing a single task. Okay, now you might have already understood the relationship between the micro operations and the register transfer language. So whenever you want to perform the various micro operations, we use RTL, register transfer language, transferring one data from another data. Remember, at end of each micro operation, with the help of your RTL, the values, initial values will be replaced with new values, that is resultant values, new values. I am repeating again. With the help of this RTL, that is register transfer language, whenever we want to perform the various micro operations, the values in the registers initially will be replaced with the new values. Example, you just see, register R has 1011. Register has 1011. Now, I am performing an operation. R is R complement. R is R complement. So initially the value that is there in R is 1011. So after executing this micro operation, so the resultant value of this R is 0, 1, 0, 0. So this is the old value, this is the new value. So the old value will be replaced with the new value. So not only this complement operation, anything. So for example, R is R plus 1, incrementing by 1. R is R plus 1. So it means 10, 11 and 1 is added. So 10, 10, 1 and 1. So now after performing this micro operation, this is the value of R. So 110. Initially R value is 1011. So after performing any micro operation, the original value or the initial value that is stored in the register is replaced with the new value, that may be output value, that may be output or temporary output. So if it is end of the process or end of your task, this will be the final output. So but after this micro operation, still if there are any more micro operations, this will be called as a temporary changeover value. Okay, now so with this you can come to a conclusion. That a digital system is defined in 3 steps or contains 3 steps. A digital system contains set of registers. Next, sequence of micro operations, and like this sequence of micro operations uses RTL, register transfer language, and some control system for controlling various instructions. So now we have to learn how a register, what is the length of the register, okay, what is the maximum limit, what is the minimum limit. We have to know registers and how the data is transferred from one register to another register. So that is register transfer notation or language, and what are the various sequence of micro operations to perform, and who is going to control all these things, control systems. Put together for all these things, we have to design a hardware diagram for each operation. So in our coming sessions, we are going to discuss about all these things. First, let us discuss about what is a register, what are the different type notations are, like we can say letters that is used for registers, and what is the length of the register. All those things we will learn. If possible, we will try to discuss about this register transfer language notation also. And students, in the yesterday's session, when I performed the division operation, some of the students have got a doubt in the flowchart that why A and B values, that is dividend and divisor, are compared twice. In the flowchart, I have compared the division A and B values twice, and if A is less than B, so I said divide overflow in the initial stage itself. If it is not, then we are going to perform some operation, and every time again A is compared with B. So why these two comparisons have done? I give you one by taking one numerical example. So for example, if you want to perform this operation in the fixed point representation or integer representation, so this is B, this is A. So means 9 by 12. Is it possible in our integer notation, integer division? No, it is not possible, because A is less than B. A is less than B. So at this point of time, we can call this situation as divide overflow. That's why in the flowchart, first part of the flowchart, initially I have checked whether there is a divide overflow or not. If no divide overflow, then only we go to the second part. But in the initial step itself, if this value A is less than this value B, we cannot perform any division. That's why there is some matter. And you take one more example here, like twelve 1 1 4 3. 12 1 1 4 3. Okay. Now here 12 ones 12 we should write here in fact 12 ones 12 we have to write here. So of course here you will put 1. Let's assume is 12 is greater than or 11 is greater than. You know very well 12 is greater than. So here also when there is no divide, so here first when you compare this 1143, that is A value with B value 12, obviously A is greater than B, we go for performing the division. But again, when you perform like this, these two bits of A are compared with the value of B. When this is not possible, to perform the subtraction, what we are going to do is we are shifting left this number, that is 1 1 4 3, means E A Q shift left. Then we are going to say 12 8s 12 9s, I think 12 9s 108. So 6 3. Okay. Now here this 6 3 is less than this 12 or not. Again we have to check. If it is not less than, we will go for performing 12 5s 63. Now whether this 3 is less than or equal to 12 or not, we have to check. Now the 3 is less than or equal to 12. So this is the remainder, this is the quotient. So initial comparison in case of dividing 9 with 12 is for checking about the divide overflow. Do remember. And once if this condition gets cancelled, when you come to the actual division like this, every time you have to compare 11 with 12, not possible. So shifting left, 114 with 12, yes it is possible. So 12 9s are 108, subtraction. So this 3 will as it is come. So again 63 compared, yes, no. So for example, here 3 you got, okay. Now we say for example, there is even number is like this. So when 3 is there, if 3 is less than 12, is matter ends? Here no, there are two more numbers. So when 3 is there, less than 12, again we shift like this 3 and 0 will be moved here. Again the 30 will be compared with 12. Yes, it is greater than, then you go for 12 2 is 24. Now you got 6. Now if 6 is less than 12, yes. So because here less than 12, we said divide overflow. Here you cannot say divide overflow because there is one more number. So again shifting like this 6 and then write 1 here. Okay. Now 61 is compared. So before shifting left or after shifting left, this comparison will be performed. That's why many comparisons are done in the second part of the flow chart. But initially, first part of the flow chart, checking divided overflow, then ends the matter. If not, then you go to the second part. Before shifting left, after shifting left, you compare this number with this number, and then if this is greater than, then only you will say 12 5 60 here, then 1. There is no more numbers. By this time, sequence counter will become to 0, and this will be remainder, and this will be the quotient. So I think now this example might have given you more clarity regarding the division operation. Okay? Thank you. Now, regarding your notes, I have posted the first unit, 2 parts, that is part 1 and part 2, in the Google Drive, that is shared to my mail ID, along with the important questions of your first unit. So important questions, see, syllabus I have posted in the Google Drive in one folder called syllabus. Okay, and then important questions also I have posted. These important questions I have considered from the previous question papers of your CO. And apart from these important questions, you need to even discuss why I have given these important questions, how the questions will be asked in the final examination. To make it familiar to you, I have posted these important questions, and also unit 1, part 1 and part 2 I have already posted, and part 3 I will be going to post soon in that. So if you have already shared with the links of all the subjects, you just click on that link, you will find out my notes in my subject. My subject will have a separate folder. In that separate folder, there is one more folder, syllabus, and there are like unit 1 to unit 5, like this 5 units folders are there. In unit 1, if you go through, you find the notes for that. Okay. So if you have any doubt in this accessing the notes, you can ask your HOD sir, and you can contact me also. I will try to find out the proper link, and I will let you know. Okay. So thank you for today. Thank you.